Hey guys, Adam here. Happy Sunday to everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Nova Scotia, and I'm going to head outside soon with my wife and kids. But I thought, while I've got a chaos-free house, that I would do a little short video on my diet, what foods I think are most important for me, training for strength, and trying to keep my test levels high, and what supplements that I'm currently taking. So first of all, I want to thank all of the new subscribers and my older subscribers. I really appreciate all the support, and I look forward to producing more videos, and hopefully you like them, and so I can keep making more. So for some of you who don't know much about my background, just quickly, I'm a strength athlete. I've been lifting weights for over 30 years. The last almost 17 years or so, I have been a Scottish Highland Games athlete. So Scottish Highland Games is the precursor to modern track and field. So we throw lots of heavy implements, stones, weights, hammers, of course, the telephone pole, the caber. So it is the epitome of explosive sports. You have to be strong, athletic, and explosive to do this sport. And of course, being heavy helps as well. And right now, my body weight's probably, I think was 262 this morning. Okay, so my focus with training is getting strong. So my diet has everything to do with getting strong. I'm not looking to lose weight. If that's your focus, that's great. So the things that I eat, most YouTubers whose channels preach about losing weight will tell you not to eat the things that I eat. Which I find is strange, because all the things that I eat are all test boosting foods, right? And when you get over 30, 35, your test levels, as we know, they start to drop. So everything that we can do to help slow that down, the better we are for the gym. And I'm not on any HRT. There's no hormone replacement therapy. There's no PEDs. I'm a natural athlete, so I have to find creative ways to keep my test levels high and keep me strong in the gym. And how I train the full body. I'm injury free, and a lot of that I attribute to how I train. So I go full range of motion on everything: ass to grass squats, behind the neck pressing, all the things, again, some people will tell you not to do are the things that I do. And I'm 6 months away from 50, and I'm injury free and very strong. So before I get into any supplements or vitamins, that kind of thing that I'm currently taking, I just want to talk about diet and the foods that I eat. So the foods, as I said, I eat to help not only get me strong and keep my energy levels up, because it's very hard to train for strength in a deficit. You can build muscle in a deficit, but it's very hard to get strong without having a surplus. I mean, they're two different beasts altogether. So I eat things that are high in zinc. I eat things that are high in magnesium, high in vitamin D. All three of those vitamins and minerals, there is excellent evidence to show that they can help maintain and boost your natural free testosterone levels. So those are the things. So I eat a lot of things like red meat, lots of red meat, ground beef, steak. I eat a lot of rice. I eat a lot of potatoes. I eat a lot of whole eggs, whole milk. I eat lots of chicken. I eat lots of fish. I eat pasta. I eat a lot of Greek yogurt, oatmeal. Oatmeal is big on my training days. I usually have oatmeal, 2 cups of oatmeal before I go to the gym, and 3 whole eggs. Things like beans, mushrooms, spinach, milk, dairy. I don't eat a lot of cheese, and in fact, talking to a good buddy of mine, we were discussing how my knees were aching there about a month and a half ago. I couldn't figure out why, because I'd never had knee problems before. And what I sort of thought about was that I had been eating a ton of cottage cheese. I like cottage cheese, but I've eaten more cottage cheese in that time than I had in the last 5 years. So, and I was eating pretty much a 500 gram tub every day. And casein is a known inflammatory protein. So I think because of all that cottage cheese and the casein, that I was getting into some inflammation in my knees. So I backed off cottage cheese altogether, and within a week, maybe even a few days, I noticed a huge difference in my knees, and I had no knee pain whatsoever after a week. So I eat a very balanced diet, a lot of whole foods. You know, my theory is, eat what your grandparents ate, and the further that things get processed, the less healthy they are for you. I don't have cheat days. I don't do the 10,000 cheat meal. I think cheat meals are just a way to ruin your progress. If I want a cheeseburger, or if I want a pizza, or if I want a beer or whatever, I'll just have that, and I'll just make changes to my diet that day so that I don't, blow it out of the water completely. I eat probably 5 or 6 times a day. It's not a very sophisticated diet. It's basically just your basic carb loading diet. On the days I train, I carb load, and my days off, I'll eat a little less carbs, and I'll up the fat and a little more protein. And then on my weekends, because I only train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so on the weekends I'll play around with it a little more. Because the weekends I find it's hard sometimes to stay on a structured diet, especially with young kids. I do my best, but a lot of times I just grab and go and get whatever I can get into me, and sometimes I pay for that on Monday, and sometimes I don't. Now, as far as taking those vitamins and minerals as a supplement, I take vitamin D3. I take about 3 of those at one time, so that'd be 3,000 IUs. And I've done some reading in that athletes can handle up to about 6,000 IUs a day, no problem. My multivitamin, I take one good multivitamin, and that's got 1,000 IUs. So I'm getting about 4,000 total IUs of vitamin D from supplementation, along with my diet. So I'm getting plenty of vitamin D, and consequently, I haven't been sick at all this year. Zinc, of course, zinc is a good test booster. Zinc, you see supplements all the time. ZMA supplements, zinc and magnesium together. They sell this for a fortune. They're very expensive. I don't take a zinc supplement because I think after about 40 milligrams a day, most, that's sort of the top end for men. And I think most sites recommend 11 milligrams a day. Because I'm an athlete, I'm trying to keep my test levels high. I get all those zinc-rich foods. And for a while, I was taking a 25 milligram supplement, but I stopped doing that. And magnesium, 400 to 500 milligrams a day for the average person for your magnesium is what's recommended. So with all the magnesium-rich foods that I eat, I also take a 500 milligram magnesium tab. And I take that before bed, on my last meal before I go to bed, because magnesium is also proven to help with sleep. So yeah, and sleep is huge in testosterone production. Something else that I take every day is fish oil pills. I just look for whatever's on sale. I don't go for the super expensive stuff. I do, however, make sure that it's got at least 180 of the EPA and 120 of the DHA. And there's conflicting evidence of whether or not it actually helps in test production. I think most recently there was a study done just in January of last year that if you took fish oil for longer than 60 days, there was evidence that it could help increase your free testosterone levels. I take it more because it's an anti-inflammatory. It's a proven anti-inflammatory, and I mentioned before about my sore knees on the casein. If I stop taking fish oil for too long, I notice my knees getting sore. So I take 6 a day, and yeah, I've got no knee pain whatsoever. Glucosamine sulfate. Again, it's one of those things that there's conflicting evidence to say yes or no that that it's good for helping slow down osteoarthritis as an anti-inflammatory. Again, I take 3 a day. Now, whether or not it's actually doing anything, it's hard to say, but I feel better by taking it. So my perception is that as long as I'm taking it, then it's working. So the only real supplement, weightlifting supplement that I take is creatine. Just plain old creatine monohydrate. I take 5 grams or a teaspoon of the powder every day. I don't cycle it. There's no loading phase. I just take 5 grams every day all year long. And I have for several years, and there's excellent evidence that creatine monohydrate, that everybody, whether you're active or inactive, should take creatine as you get older, just to help with muscle density. Because as we get older, we lose muscle density, bone density. So one reason why I continue to lift heavy, right, is to maintain muscle and bone density. So anyway, just that's just a little video that I want to do on just what I eat and vitamins and supplements that I think are important to me. Now, you may have things that you take that work great for you. If you don't take the things that I'm taking and you want to give them a try, give them a try. I think they work great for me, and I'm still moving heavy weight. My muscle mass, I'm still 260 pounds. And and so I think it's a definite benefit. Just thought I'd show you, of course, living here in rural Nova Scotia, we do maple syrup. And one of the best things that you can drink is the maple water itself. Full of antioxidants, full of vitamins, excellent stuff. I drink it all the time. It's the best stuff. First day of spring and the snow is finally starting to melt. And one thing during the lockdown that I started to do was chop out a food forest. And I'll do a video on that at some point. So you guys have a great day, and stay tuned for episode 30 of The Ways.